We are black and beautiful people, and together we will win.
What are the 7 principles called? The Nguzo Saba. What does Nguzo Saba mean? Huh? Yeah, that was a trick question. 7 principles. The Nguzo Saba. Let's say it. Nguzo Saba. What's principle number 1? Umoja means what? Kuju Jakalia means what? Ujima means what? No. Ujima, that's right. Ujama. Nia. Kuumba. Imani. Faith. Faith, right?
Yes.
Umoja. Kuju Jakalia. Ujima. Ujama. Nia. Kuumba. Imani. All right. Ashe.
This principle is really important, and we want to live all the principles each day, but we need to understand what they are. Self-determination. It's very important, but before we can self-determine, people, you really need to do a self-assessment. You got to figure out why you believe in what you believe in. You have to come up with it. See, right now we're not able to answer that hardest 3-letter question in the world from our little watotos. Why? Why, mommy? And so we haven't thought about it. So the only answer we get is, because I say so, damn it. But we never answer the question. In order to answer the questions, you have to do a self-assessment. You have to figure out, it might take 3 months, 6 months, to figure out why you believe in what you believe in. You have to determine what right and wrong is. Right? People, right and wrong are based on beliefs, not facts. And as I often say, everybody knows that I'm not that smart. I only know 2 damn facts. 1, H2O equals water. 2, your ass gonna die. Everything else is a belief. So you really need to get into you to understand you have a right to raise your children based on your values and your beliefs. But what are your values and beliefs? You have to figure that out. You have to figure that out so that you're able to then don't be whooped down, beat down by that little watoto right there when he starts saying, why, mommy? Why? Why? You have to do that. And once we determine what your beliefs and values are, then we work on self-determination.
Ashe.
Ashe. The libation ceremony is done in praise and honor of the collective commitment to the work and struggle of the ancestors. It is both instructive and inspirational, as well as mandatory within the framework of our value system. For it is they, our forefathers and foremothers, who through their love and labor and struggle laid the foundations for us, pushed our lives and history forward, and gave us basic principles by which we could all live our lives in strength, dignity, brotherhood, and sisterhood. Pouring libations and making the libation statement is both an honorific, assertion and a call to carry on the struggle and work of the ancestors. It is more clearly defined as a recognition and respect of the contributions of those before us, of our history, and the models it offers us to emulate. Brother Raheem will lead us through libations.
Now, what we're going to do is important libation. We use a plant, of course, because it's part of that harvest that Dr. Milana Karanga talks about, which is the first fruit pertaining to Kwanzaa. And we pour it to the north, the south, the east, and the west, the four winds of the earth. Once I make the call, before I come up, when I come up, I'm going to say Harambe. As I come up, that's when you say Harambe with me. We have to be in unison. We have to be with an emoji, okay? We're going to use the cucumber emoji cup, okay? The libation statement. Our fathers and mothers came here, lived, loved, struggled, and built here. At this place, their love and labor rose like the sun and gave so much we give in return. On the same soil, we sow our seeds and build and move in unity and strength. Here too, we will continue their struggle for liberation and a higher level of human life. May our eyes be the eagle, our strength be the elephant, and the boldness of our life be like the lion. And may we remember and honor our ancestors and the legacy they left for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow. Harambe! Harambe! For our people everywhere then, for Shaka, Samori, and Nzinga, and all the others known and unknown who defended our ancestral land, history, and humanity from alien invaders. Harambe! For Garvey, Muhammad, Malcolm, and King, Harriet, Fannie Lou, Sojourner, Bethune, and Nat Turner, and all others who dare to define, defend, and develop our interests as a people. Harambe! For Qaeda and the Nguza Saba, the new system of views and values which gives identity, purpose, and direction to our lives. Harambe! For the new world we struggle to build. Harambe! Now for this last one, you have to hold your Harambe. Okay, the children always love this part because they outshine us as adults. They know we're going to be short-breathed. So for once adults, I need us to let our children hear us, and we need to outlast them on this Harambe. Also, I want you to take your black fist on the last Harambe, pull it down, and hit your loving chest where your heart beats, and beating that sound, that drum, that's part of our Africanness. Okay? Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Pull down that black fist. So what I would do is do what before you pull it down? Put it up. Put up that black fist. Pull it up as high as you can. On the last Harambe, pull it down. Beat that African breast, that African chest. Okay? And for the continuing struggle through which we inevitably rescue and reconstruct our history and humanity in our own image and according to our own needs.
Harambe!
Remember last night doing emoji, we had the call and response, invoking our ancestors. So Brother Shambe is going to do invoking of the ancestors, okay?
All right. Everybody know what this is about? No? Who said no? Okay, good. All right. Now, your ancestors are who? People who are no longer with us in physical form. People that have passed away, that are deceased, right? Yes. Are those people physically dead? Yes. Are those people spiritually dead? Nah, I think y'all crazy. Let me ask you that question again. Are those people spiritually dead? didn't get tricked. You didn't get tricked. Are those people spiritually dead? No. Those people live with you and live through you, right? So your grandmom who ain't here, she's still here, right? Because you still hear her voice in your mind, don't you? I do all the time, right? Your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your uncle, even Miss So-and-so from down the street, right? You still hear some of those things, those lessons that they used to teach you, right? So what we're going to go into now, we're going to have everyone in the audience invoke the spirit of our ancestors, meaning point to you, each person, we're going to go down the line. You call on someone that is no longer here, one person that you love, honored, and respect, and impacted your life. Could have been someone personally, or it could have been someone in history, historically, doesn't matter. They impacted your life, they impacted our life, because we all a community, right? See, the thing that we have to understand is with unity and self-determination, that it's not an individualistic thing. It's not just about you or me, it's about us. Right? Because if I'm not teaching my son, he gonna go down the street and go rob you. And vice versa, right? He gonna cuss you out down the street. So when each person calls out their ancestor, what do we all say? We're gonna do it different. The person's gonna call out their ancestor. I'm gonna repeat their ancestor's name, and we're all gonna say Ashe. Meaning, let it be. So it shall be. Right? Yes. All right. You follow me? Yes. Okay. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Where you from? It's Mr. Mendez, right?
Yep.
From the Dominican Republic, right?
Yes.
You got people of African descent there?
Of course.
Of course. You heard it from. You heard it.
Samana. Yeah.
Huh?
In Samana.
Say it.
In Samana.
And Samanan.
Yep.
Huh?
A lot of brothers and sisters from Africa, they settled in Samana many years ago. And the first James Williams, when I hear that name, it was 11 years old, and it was in Samana. They still live there, and the first language is the English language in Samana, in that section of Dominican Republic.
All right, in Samana. Didn't I tell you when I came up here?
Yeah.
But you didn't believe me. Yeah, I know you did. I'm just being funny. All right? Yeah. So, sister, who would you like, which ancestor would you like to, who is no longer with us, that you like to invoke?
My father, Robert Harris.
To our dear father, Robert Harris, we say, Ashe.
My mother, Edna Harris.
Oh, okay, I didn't make the connection. To our dear mother,
We're not connected.
not even connected, but we are connected. Look at that. Sitting right next to a Harris, right? What's her name?
Edna Harris.
To our dear mother, Edna Harris, we say, Ashe. Mendez.
Kamahu Kafani, my great
All
friend.
right. To our brother Kamal Kalfani, we say, Ashe.
My mother, Irma Nelson.
Sister Irma Nelson, we say,
To my grandmother, Mary Johnson.
To our dear, my great grandmother, Mary Johnson, we say,
My mother, Pamela Johnson.
to my auntie Pamela Johnson, we say, Asada? Yes.
Uncle Talbert.
To our Uncle Talbert Hibbert, we say,
Ashe.
All right, sister.
Ella Hampton.
To Ella Hampton, we say,
Ashe.
come on, brother. To Elijah Muhammad, we say,
Ashe.
my young man.
Sister Betty Shabazz.
Sister Betty Shabazz, we say,
Ashe.
Ethel McDaniel. To our sister Ethel McDaniel, we say,
Ashe.
come on, brother.
Grandma Pearl.
Grandma Pearl, we say,
Ashe.
Sister Selena.
Maya Angelo.
To Maya Angelo, we say,
Ashe.
Brother Thorpe.
My maternal grandparents, James and Mary Davis.
To James and Mary Davis, we say,
Ashe.
Mrs. Thorpe.
My grandmother, Hattie
To Hattie Louise Mims, we say,
Ashe.
To my
Uncle William.
William Perry. To our Uncle William Perry, we say,
Ashe.
this is him.
To my mother, Dorothy
Wilker.
Booker.
Booker. To our dear sister Dorothy Booker, we say,
Ashe.
all right. Well, I love these two little girls right here. We got them. We got them. Look at them. Look how shy they are. We got them. Give them a strong hand. Clap them on. Clap them on. We all with you. We with you. We got to encourage for you. See how she came out of that shell? Come on, little sis. What did she say, Sister Wahida?
Oh, KP, her Uncle KP.
Huh?
Her Uncle KP.
To her Uncle KP, we say? Ashe. Sister Wahida?
She wanted to say her grandmother. Go ahead.
Come on.
Grandmother.
Grandma Bertha Hickman, we say?
Ashe.
All right.
My mother, Mabel Foreman, we say.
All right, to Mabel Foreman, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. All right, sister.
My mother, Katie Miller.
Katie Miller? To our dear ancestor Katie Miller, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
To my mother, Eunice Hodges, and my mentor, Frederick Douglass.
To Frederick Douglass and June.
My mother, Eunice Hodges.
To Eunice Hodges, we say
Ashe.
Ashe. It's the other council person here, right? We see you. You're amongst everybody here. You're not gonna hide in the crowd.
We ain't hiding, that's why I'm sitting here.
All right, all right.
To my grandfather, Victor Davila.
Victor, Davila. Victor Davila.
Ashe.
Where you from, Councilwoman?
I'm born and raised here. I'm Puerto Rican Peruvian.
Puerto Rican Peruvian?
Yes.
Glad you said Peru. They got black people in Peru?
Yes, they do.
You heard her, didn't you?
Yes, they do. Never
Oh,
denied it.
okay. To brother, okay. No.
Me?
No,
My sister just said.
You skipped
oh, I'm sorry, sister.
That's okay. To my grandmother, Burl Byard, and my grandfather, Cirillo Byard.
Say the first name again.
Her name is Burl.
Burl,
His name
Byer,
is Cirillo.
and Surreal. Ashe.
Ashe.
Brother Gil, Brother Dave.
I'd like to say to my recently departed mother, Sylvia Gilmore.
All right. To our recently departed ancestor, Sylvia Gilmore. Ashe.
Ashe.
Brother Kareem.
Our leader, most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We got another one. We say?
Ashe.
Here's my brother here in the back. My brother from another mother. Sadiq.
I say my grandmother, Miss Daxon.
Miss Daxon. To our grandma, Miss Daxon, we say?
Ashe.
Brother Kimfe.
My recently departed mother, Dorothy Little.
To Dorothy Little, we say?
Ashe.
Oh, yeah.
To my grandmother, Louise Williams.
To Louise Williams, we say?
Ashe.
Sister Malika.
To my mother, Judith Jane, and General Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Okay. To our mother, Judith Van Cole. Got her last name. That's my fiance, that's all I know. And to our Black Power General, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, we say? Ashe. Come on, brother.
Sean Ben's little brother said he wanted to know what Ashe means.
I said it in the beginning, it means, but we always have to continue to teach our children, right? So it will be, let it be. It, like as if it comes into existence, right? We invoking the spirit of our people, our ancestors who are still embodied in our spirit, right? We call their name out, right? And they are still here. They are still here with us. So it shall be. So it shall be what? That they are still here with us, right? All right, Ashe, that's right. Come on, brother.
To my deceased grandmother,
Esther Myers. To Grandma Esther Myers, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
Come on.
My grandmother, Dolores Perry.
To Dolores Perry, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
Come on.
To my great grandmother, Esther Myers.
Great grandmother Esther Myers, we say
Ashe.
Brother.
Great uncle, Jimmy Jones.
Great uncle Jimmy Jones, we say
Ashe.
Brother. Mildred. To Mildred Warren, we say
Ashe.
Harriet Tubman, we say
Ashe.
Martin Luther King, we say
Ashe. Mayor Marty Barnes.
Mayor Marty Barnes, all right? Come on, Ashe.
Ashe.
I don't care what nobody say. Mayor Marty Barnes gave a lot of people jobs.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care what they say. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Huh? Soul brother number 1, James Brown. You say? Ashe.
Dr. John Henry Clark, Ella Baker.
To Ella Baker and Dr. John Henry Clark. We say?
To one of the assassinated presidents of Nigeria, Agu Ironsi. Yeah.
Agu Rosi.
Yep.
We say? Ashe. Brother Smallwood. Amiri Baraka. We say? Ashe. Chief.
My mother and father, Allen, Mary Moody, and Malcolm X.
Ashe.
Ashe. Clear.
My grandmother, Phyllis Steele, and Nat Turner.
Phyllis Steele and Nat Turner.
Ashe.
That's a good combination.
Ashe.
Ashe. Sis.
To Minerva Goodwin.
Ashe.
Let us say that again. Say it again.
Minerva Goodwin.
Minerva. Okay.
Ashe.
Ashe.
To my grandmother, Maud Sweat.
Ashe. Ashe.
Our grandfather, Willie Sweat.
Willie Sweat, you say Ashe. In the back.
Paul Robinson and Hattie Mae Gibbons.
Ashe. She turned around. Did you see her turn around?
To my mother, Cynthia Adams.
Ashe.
To my grandmother, Peggy Burns.
Ashe. Peggy Burns. Ashe. Your little brother. Say it again. Loud and proud. Loud and proud.
To my grandfather, Wesley.
Grandpa Wesley. You say? Mom.
To my mother, Faith Ann Jarvis.
Faith Ann Jarvis. We say? In front.
To my mother, D'Alva Ellaby.
D'Alva Ellaby. We say? The young brother next to you. Martin Luther King. We say? Sister. Oh, Jesse Dixon. Okay. We say for Jesse Dixon. Ashe.
To my parents, Catherine and William Ellerby.
Catherine and William Ellerby. We say? In the back.
To my Uncle Jose.
Uncle Jose. We say?
To my siblings, Jose, Ellen, and Michael. Ashe.
Jose, Evelyn, and Michael. We say? Sister Pooh.
To my parents, Thomas and Annie Billy.
Thomas and Annie.
Billy.
Say the last name?
Billy.
Billy. We say? Brother.
To my paternal great-grandmother, Josephine Thomas, and my father, James W. Brown Sr.
We say? That's another good brother. I know that, brother. Your queen?
To my big mama, my grandmother, Lorraine Moss, and to my mother, Pamela Moss.
Big Mama Lorraine and Pamela, we say? Who else got a big mama? Have a big mama? Right? It's our culture, man. Embrace your culture and spread it to your children. Brother Lionel Muhammad back there, my good brother.
Noble Drew Ali.
To Noble Drew Ali, we say? Sister Councilwoman. Oh, hi. To Auntie, what we say? Rosalie? Rosalie, we say? Strong brother Akbar. Ancestor. No, I didn't miss you, sister. I'm sorry. I saw you at the end. Brother Akbar, ancestor.
Boy. Dr. John Henry Clark.
Dr. John Henry Clark, again, we say? Sister.
Madam C.J. Walker.
To Madam C.J. Walker, we say? Say, Brother Muhammad in the back. All right, Imam Wardi Muhammad. You say? To your wife? Malcolm X, you say?
Nancy Watson, my grandmother.
Grandma Nancy, you say? Sister in the red?
All the freedom fighters that have passed away.
All the freedom fighters that have passed away. We say, get out of strong hand. That's right. Never forget those that died so that you can be here. Right? So that you can play PlayStation and crazy stuff like that. Right? Right? We would have no elected officials here. Right? If people didn't die to be able to do that in this country. Is that right or is that wrong? No. Yes.
Grandmother Virginia Davis.
To Grandma Virginia Davis, we say? And Khalil. To Marcus Garvey, we say? All right, now everybody give me a strong Ashe. Culture. So now let's lighten, Malika, let's darken the place up. Why did I say that? My fiance often tells me when you say lighten the place up, that seems a little racist. Right? So we're going to darken the place up with our good sister and comedian Michelle Cookie Benson. Where are you? Give us a strong hand.
And this is a beautiful thing, and I thank God I got to see my Chief Tambua and his lovely wife. For them and my father, I would have known about Kwanzaa. It starts at home. It starts at home. Well, as you can see, I've been working hard on my self-determination. Yeah, I'm out here doing my comedy, working a full-time job. When you hit 50, that ain't easy. But there's some things that I still got a little working on to do. You know, I think I want to try to lose some weight for 2015. You know, that's a little determination I haven't been too well at, you know. It gets a little hard when you've been running away from exercise for your whole adult life. But it's starting to get a little expensive for me to keep this weight on. I gotta keep going buying jeans and stuff because my legs rubbing out my pants. I gotta keep going to the store buying more jeans. Can't afford to do that. I also want to lose a little weight because I take public transportation back and forth to New York. And I always gotta get other fat people that want to sit next to me. I want to lose weight just so they go sit next to somebody else. Because evidently, I attract them. If you walk past 2 seats empty and come by me, what that tell you? You can't fit a circle into a square. I don't understand. Yeah, I'll be 52 years old in January. Clap it up for me. Yes, I'm proud of that. But somebody told me a lie. Somebody told me 50 was the new 30. And they told me a lie. And if you don't believe me, ask the 3 men I wake up with every morning. Snap, crackle, and pop. Pop, the loudest one of them all. I'm trying to get out the bed and look like I'm twerking. And I'm just trying to get up. That's all I'm trying to do, get up. I work in New York City. I said, I think I'm going to start trying the Subway diet. Not the one that the little guy do eating the sandwiches. I mean, literally, walking up and down them stairs in the Subway. There shouldn't be no fat people in New York. I'll be out of breath. I got to take 5 minutes. When I get to the top, people be walking all around me. I'm sorry. Look, I'm from Paterson, New Jersey. We don't have to do all this over here. We get on the bus, we get off. We don't have to go up and down 10 million stairs to get underground to somewhere that smell like I don't know what. I can't stand going in those subways. I can't stand it. I have 3 adult children now. Clap it up for me. They all. I'm a big mama now. And he said, who had it? I'm a big mama now. I'm a big mama now. Because that's what my grandkids call me, Big Mama. So I don't know what they're going to call me when I lose my weight next year. Got to find another name. So I'm not going to be Big Mama anymore. I've been running away from exercise so much I stopped going to certain churches because it was too much like exercise. I used to try to go to a Pentecostal church at one time. That was too much like exercise. They had me jumping, running. I was sweating. I said, oh, no, I can't come back here. Y'all got me working out too much. I'm just trying to praise the Lord. That's all I'm trying to do. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to try to be a Jehovah's Witness because all they do is stand straight up and down. I can do that. I'm good at that. I did that for about a couple of months, and they called a meeting and told me, no, you can't just do this. You got to walk up and down these streets and ring some doorbell like the rest of us. I said, okay, nah, that's exercise. I can't do that. Then I tried to go to the Catholic church. They had me doing squats. Sit there, stand up here, sit there, stand up here. I was like, oh, no. So I decided I'm going to stop eating pork. I said, I'll try that. Maybe I'll lose some weight like that. That worked from Labor Day, the day after Labor Day, to the 4th of July. Went to somebody's cookout, and that was the end of that. So I just have to just deal with what the Lord gave me and try to do the best I can. Well, I only wanted to be up here for a few minutes because, first of all, I'm not used to such a mixed crowd as far as age groups. I don't want to be up here too long and mess it up. So I got through this last 7-8 minutes without cursing. Trust me. This was a feat. I've been worried about this all week long. I said, Lord, please be with me. I like to always say this when I end my set because I started doing comedy at 50 years old. So, I mean, I like to tell the kids and children and anybody, you're never too old to do your dream. If it's something that you want to go out there and do, go ahead and do it. Don't let nobody stop you. There's always going to be haters. People are going to hate. But you just got to let the haters be your motivators and keep it moving. Okay?
I want to give a big respect to our sister Thomasina Duncan right here. We putting you on the spot right there. Why? Because in the city of Paterson, right, I believe the Kwanzaa committee that Sister Thomasina had and some others, Brother Kamal Kalfani, whose birthday is here today, they were the first, some of the first in the city of Paterson to acknowledge our cultural holiday of Kwanzaa. Is that right, Sister Thomasina? Yeah. Right back there. Give her a strong hand. Some of the first in this city. Was that in the 80s or the 70s? All right.
As a matter of fact, it actually started in my apartment.
All right, right? Then it went to the library, then we started doing it other places. Yes. That's right.
Yes.
And now, in Paterson now, for the first year, Kwanzaa is going to be celebrated every single day. If that is strong, right?
I'm glad to be here, and I'm learning myself about my own culture. Isn't that something that is you're never too old to learn? You know that we have to learn how to be teachable, especially our young people. And I shared a little bit about my story yesterday, but I also wanted to incorporate, if it was okay, some of the principles of Kwanzaa, because I think it's all ties in. I think it's all important. I first want to thank our brother Bilal for allowing me to come, and Mrs. Sarah Billy, my sister from another mother. Thank God for her, and for the community. Now, yesterday, it was about unity. Is that right? Right. Now, I want you to do something with me. I'm not a comedian, but some people say that I am. But I want you, would you help me, since we're a community? Okay, I need you to stand on your feet. We're going to do a little exercise. All right? Now, as a community, I want you to embrace your brother and sister. And I'm going to tie all this in of why this is important to my story. Is that okay? Just embrace your brother and sister. Just hug on them. Because everybody needs love. Everybody needs support. Isn't that right? And don't you feel better when somebody touches you? That's wonderful. Come on, let's interact with one another. That's so important. Introduce yourself. They may not even know who you are. Thank you very much. But I'm a teacher by calling. And many times I have my students to interact with me. Is that okay? All right, so I want you to repeat that again. Self-determination. Self-determination. One of the principles of Kwanzaa is to define ourselves, right? So it actually means that if you don't know who you are, somebody's going to define who you are. Isn't that right? If you hear people calling you, it's determined by what you answer to. How many understand what I'm saying? And as black people, African Americans, we got to know who we are. We have a rich, somebody say a rich culture. We are embedded in every fiber of society. We've created most of the things that you're sitting on, that you look at, that you use. Isn't that the truth? So we are a wonderful people. Give yourselves a hand. Our children need to know that. That means that there is no challenge that you face that you cannot make it out. Isn't that true? Give yourselves a hand. There's no struggle. Somebody say struggle. No dis-ease. Somebody say dis-ease. That you have that you can't make it out of. It has nothing to do with what doctors say. It has nothing to do with what people say. It has to do with what you say. Are you determined to make it? And if you're determined to make it, the other one that I thought was very interesting, I was going to use my help, but I'm going to try to use the light, is name yourselves. Who are you, really? And one of the questions or answers is, the person you are is you under pressure. When you're faced with things in life, how do you respond to it? Do you wow out? Do you cuss everybody out? Or do you know because of based on who you are and your heritage that you're strong, and if your ancestors made it through slavery, through struggles, through civil rights, that you can make it? That's what you're made of. Come on, give yourselves a hand. Your name is attached to your purpose. What's your name? What's your purpose? What's your calling? Who are you? Turn to your neighbor and say, who are you? If you don't understand your purpose, you will abuse it. That's why we see abuse, all types, sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. Because you don't understand the purpose of a thing, you're going to do what? I can't hear you. Abuse it, correct? So my story began over 24 years ago. I was diagnosed with a deadly disease. Everybody know about it. Everybody heard about it. Everybody was afraid of it. Everybody ran from it. But many people were infected by it. And it was HIV. Somebody say HIV. HIV, human immune deficiency syndrome, or human immune virus, or acquired immune deficiency syndrome. HIV is different from AIDS. Let me understand that. HIV is the virus, okay, that causes AIDS. All right? There can be a 10-year span and you not show signs, but it does not mean that you're not infected. All right? There's many myths of how it is being transmitted. People saying that it was a conspiracy. I don't know all that. It didn't matter how it came. It's the fact that I had received it. And I had to find a way how to overcome it, even though back then, 24 years ago, people were dying like flies. How many know that? They were just dropping dead. They went to the hospital, they looked good, and before you know it, they were dead or they were sick unto death. But I was determined, based on my belief and my strong belief in God, that dying wasn't an option. I had 2 little boys to raise, and I was not going down like that. Because I understand that it wasn't really about just me, but it's about you. Who knew that 24 years later, I'll be standing before you telling my story? I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about surviving. But what I wanted to tell you was, as a black community, whether it's a conspiracy or not, knowledge is power. Somebody say that. Knowledge is power. So get informed. Stop listening to your friends, young people. Stop listening to people that don't know anything. And get educated. Somebody get educated. Get educated. Get the facts about it. How it can be transmitted. What are the symptoms of it? How you can avoid it. Now, how you can avoid it is easy. But it's not always easy to do. How many know how to avoid it? Say it with a loud voice. All right. Now, I don't know how many people want to do that, but that's how you avoid it. All right? But if you can't avoid that, then wrap it up. Somebody say wrap it up. Wrap it up. Get proper safe sex practices, if you will. Now, my belief, I believe in living by a moral code, but I'm not judging you. Whatever you do, just don't allow people to define who you are. The other principle was speak for yourself, right? So don't let people tell you who you are. Okay? Be a person in a committed relationship. Don't be somebody's chick on the side. Don't be somebody's other 3, 4 partners. All right? Be in a monogamous relationship if you have to. All right? As my mother would say, if you have to go out and do it, do it. Just be safe. Use your head, not your heart. Come on, women. Because we move by our emotions. By emotions, it's like a fleeting water. Amen? It goes this way and it goes that way. Somebody say, use your head, not your heart. Because everything in your heart, you don't always have to do. Because sometimes in my heart, I feel like killing some people. Amen? But I don't know, I'm not supposed to be doing it. So come on, use your head. Somebody say, use your head, not your heart. Now, I'm going to get ready to take my seat, but I want to do this little exercise. Everybody who is 13 through 24, I want you to stand. Not everybody that want to be 13 and 24, but everybody that is 13 through 24, stand. Let me see the young people in the house. 13 to 24. Okay? I want all the adults to look at that. Talk about the village in our community. That is our future. If we don't empower them and educate them, guess what? They will die before their time. Young people, listen to me. The age 13 to 24 are the ones that are the most susceptible to HIV and AIDS today. You get what I'm saying? All the things that you do, all the friends that you're around, be careful of the company that you keep. Because you will adapt to their behaviors and their belief systems. But if you know who you are and you stand up for what you believe, you can be a strong, proud, and black young men and women. Come on, give them a hand. You may be seated. All the women in the house stand. vulnerable to the HIV and AIDS virus. Because many of us, we may not be telling our children, but many times we're not practicing safe sex practices ourselves. Many times we're preaching to them, but we're not practicing what we preach. Or we think that we might be past, many times, pregnancy, so we don't think about the virus. We think about, Lord, I passed being pregnant, but we forget about there's something else out there to get us. So we have to protect ourselves and then teach the younger generation how to protect themselves. I mean, understand what I'm saying. You may be seated. Now, 55 years and over, stand up. Don't be ashamed. Be proud of your age. That's all right. The new cases of HIV and AIDS is 55 years and over. Because while you think that you know you can't get pregnant, you can catch something else. And many of us, and many times in our society, because we are not educated, because of the lies and the myths about HIV and AIDS, we think we're not susceptible, but we are the most susceptible. So I would say to you to teach the others the truth about HIV and AIDS. You may be seated. Now, do you see that everybody was reached in this house? Which means that we're all susceptible. If you are having sex, if you are having multiple partners, and if you are in and out of relationships, protect yourself. Wrap it up. Find out how you can protect yourself. The other thing is to create and speak. And I believe that if we speak a thing, we can have a thing. How many believe that? And the word that came out of my mouth was, I shall not die, but I shall live. And I shall declare the works of the Lord. And when I went to the doctor, she asked me, did you just find out? And I said, no. She said, how long have you known? I said, 21 years. She said, what in the world have you been doing? I said, I've been holding on and trusting God. And she told me off the record, my doctor, she said, whatever you was doing, you were doing something right. Because we didn't know what we were doing. And we were practicing on you and other people. And then 3 years later, I was able to go into treatment and get the right medicine. And now I stand here undetected. Get informed. Get tested. Get treated.
30 years. Over 30 years, and you know that subject is still considered taboo, right? It's been over 30 years, and you know that subject that she was just speaking about is a subject that we don't like to speak about. True or false? I'm saying it all night, right? This sister came up strong and proud, and she gave you her information, gave you her testimony, and she gave you your marching orders in order to prevent you from it. And if you acquired it, what to do. This is what a community is about. Give her a strong hand. It ain't easy for somebody to come up in front of you and say, I had HIV. Come on. Right? That was beautiful, man. This is what Kwanzaa is about, sharing information. Right? So now, we're going to go into some more information. We're going to bring up my sister, Kalia, and her organization is Parents Protecting African American Children, PAC. Parents Protecting African American Children. Tell them to come up.
But I just want to say peace and blessings to you all. It is such an honor for us to be here, fellowshipping and connecting with the Paterson community and Power and Buds and everyone who's here tonight. I just want you to know it's a true honor and privilege for us. So PAC does stand for Parents Protecting African American Children. We're out of Montclair, New Jersey. We are rapidly spreading fast. I'm glad this is on camera because you can trust me that soon we will be national. So first we will have a song selection by Stacia Sweat and Anaya Turner. And then next will be Nancy Jones, and she's going to do spoken word, okay? So please give them some love.
in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there's been times that I felt I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change has come. Oh, yes it will. The change has come.
Thank you. Next, we have a spoken word piece that's going to be presented by Nancy Jones, another PAC member.
I will be reciting Beautiful Black Woman by Vernon Davis Jr. Beautiful black woman, your beauty is surpassed by none. Beautiful black woman, your sense of splendor is like the shining sun. Your wondrous ways come from your soul, which no man may hope to control. Beautiful black woman, you are the guiding hope of our people. Beautiful black woman, your mind maintains your glorious power. Beautiful black woman, your spirit is like a shining church tower which points the way to heaven above and which seeks to find true love. Beautiful black woman, you are the guiding hope of our people. Beautiful black woman, your time is like a precious commodity. Beautiful black woman, your ebony will is strong and free, so take your precious time and your determined will and use them both to emphasize what you really feel. Beautiful black woman, you are the guiding hope of our people. Beautiful black woman, in you lies our future.
Good evening, family. Good evening, family. Good evening. All right. Listen, I'm truly honored and blessed to be here today to share some of my thoughts with you this evening. And I'm going to stay within my tradition. Some of y'all might not like what I say. But that's not going to stop me from saying it. Because you do have to stand up. You do have to be vocal. And I pride myself on being a teacher. I'm not an educator, proper, but I'm a teacher. I'm a parent, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a family member, I'm a member of this community. And I come to you today to say that under Kujiwala Kajia, help me with that. I can't get it right. Self-determination is so important. And what does it mean? It means different things to different people, but I'm going to tell you what it means to me. In this community, in this time, we are in trouble. As a people, as a community, and we have to wake up. In order for us to be self-determined, we have to be self-aware. We have to know what's going on and the plan for us to fail. And we're not planning for success. We're following the plan. And if we continue to go where we're going, our future is very dim. Their future is very dim. We have no future if we don't invest in ourselves, in our community, in who we are and what we are. Let's look at some of those things that I'm talking about. The educational system is failing us. We are failing all the way around. 19 students out of 600 passed the SAT for college readiness. Where are you going without a college education today? You're going to jail because you're going to have to work somewhere, and it's probably going to be on a street corner. Street corner is not turning anybody away. That's what they're doing. But the underground economy is not just illegal things. There's other things that you can do in the underground economy. You can be an entrepreneur, but you have to know how to spell. You have to know how to read. You have to know how to count before you get out there and try to do anything, because somebody's going to rob you. You understand? You have to learn how to interact with people. You need your social skills tuned up when you go to school. At the earliest age, whether it be Head Start through college, you still have to know how to interact with people. So the school system is failing. And we're not holding those people in the school system responsible to make it better. We're not going to the Board of Education meetings unless there's some kind of a crisis or something that happens. But you should be there all the time. All the time. How do we do that? I'm just not going to preach to you and talk action today. I'm going to encourage you to start your own study groups in our community, in somebody's basement. You can do that. When we come together and learn something, get an SAT study book. I was so encouraged to see a little girl not too many weeks ago with her SAT book in the store, sitting down at the table studying her book. I'm encouraged. But then I get discouraged when I see the other ones doing something else. We have to take charge of that. We have no jobs. You have to make your own job and your own opportunity for success. We need some of those same ideals and principles to go back and create study groups. How do you open up a business? How do you come together and get access to capital? How do you go downtown and get to the PRC where there's millions of dollars sitting there that we don't have access to? We're not doing that. Who are we sitting with to understand where this money is and how to get it? Somebody told me the other day they rebuilt that liquor store over there on Graham Ave. Paterson, where is it? Godwin? I know it's Graham Ave. It's Rosa Parks, but I know Graham Ave. They rebuilt that liquor store. They said, well, why didn't they put something else there? Why don't you have a plan to put other stores there? Where were you when they did the master plan? They have a thing called the master plan. They went around to every ward to figure out what it is we needed to do in our community in terms of the master plan. Where were you? You have to be involved. You just can't sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. You're falling into their plan for your failure. When they brought you here, you being us, during the Industrial Revolution to work these factories, they built schools so that you could be a smarter worker. But then the jobs left. Now you're left here with no jobs, schools are deteriorating, and they have nothing for you to do. So what do? They built prisons. They built prisons to house you and work you for nothing. But you let them do that. You have to challenge people to your greatness. You have to get out in the community and do things. Why are these kids not going to school or not getting education? Because mom and daddy won't make them go. They see no future. There's no hope. But with opportunities like this, where we can come together and talk about planning for the future and putting together some things that can help us move forward, this is what we must do. We can't allow these things to continue to happen with us without responding to it. And so that's what I do. I talk about it. You know, Sean Bay said it. I mean, I talk about people all the time. I don't care if they don't like me. You see? I don't care. Because somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to stand up. Because as many as don't like me, many love me. A lot of people understand what I'm saying. And somebody's got to say it. I'm not afraid. Some of them are afraid. They cringe when I come in the room. When I call them a coon shuffler. Because that's what they are. Coon shuffling when it comes to standing up for our people and for our children and so forth and demanding better for us. You just can't stand around and let it happen. You know, I'm proud of Rashawn and some of the other brothers and those that can go out in the street and talk to folk, you know, but that has not been my forte. Because I did go to school. I ran programs and agencies and brought money and grants and this and that. That's what I do. I'm an administrator. That's what my best opportunity is, to help people and try to help you put together programs and documentation and so forth, whatever, to apply and do things within the process. Because you can't work but so much done outside. You have to be on the inside to get things done. That's where I work. And it's very frustrating to me seeing people not stepping up to do what it is they're supposed to do. Elected officials, people that look like us, that don't do anything for us, but get newer cars and better suits, look down their nose at you, and get these paychecks for no product, nothing happening. Paterson shouldn't be in the position it's in today as much money comes through here. People are getting rich off of our poverty. That's what they do. They come in here, for instance, and I'm not calling nobody's name right now, but they come in here and they make the applications for all the grants and the research and planning and so forth and so on. And what do? They have you sign an attendance list. Put your email address on there. Sign your name. Do you know what they do with that? They take that back and put it in the checkoff list for community participation. And they get the money and you never see them again. That's what they do. They're using you. And what do? Give you a ham sandwich. And you're supposed to be happy. Nobody's challenging it. Challenging. They come here all the time. Planning grants. They got $10 million planning grant for transportation and housing and so forth and so on. You're not getting anything for it. This is what we need to do. So how many times are we going to stand around, and again, I love this opportunity, you know, that we're here, but what do we do from here? What do we do from here? I think after this or whatever, we should have some kind of a sign-up sheet or something for us to break out into different groups to say, where are your interests? Where do your interests lie? You know, we need jobs, but we can create jobs. If we don't do something about it, the jobs will be gone and we won't have anything. Right now, there's talk about the 1,200 houses. I'm only going to be another minute. The 1,200 or more houses that are vacant and abandoned in the city. As much as they're a blight on our community, and how we look at them and say, ain't that a shame? Why is there somebody saying, what an opportunity? What an opportunity for us. With all this training money that comes in, and that's available at PCC, or the Housing Authority, or the Community Development Block Grant, or HUD, and all those other places where those monies can be combined to create training programs for our youth, our underserved, our unemployed, our people coming out of prison. Why can't they be the ones to fix those houses? Why can't they be turned around and then given in first-time home ownership programs, or leased to buy, or rented, or owned by the community, or owned by the church, or owned by another not-for-profit? Why can't we take some of those houses and create satellite libraries or internet cafes so that you can get into the internet when some of these kids and some of these families don't have a computer. You see what I'm saying? I got one in my pocket. I got a tablet. I got a desktop. I got a laptop. But there's a lot of folks don't have anything. They need access. You don't know what kind of genius is walking around without access. But you have to give them the opportunity. And if we're not doing it, shame on us. Because we're falling into the plan. There is no plan for us. We're just excess right now. Excess. The workforce is gone. The jobs are gone. They're not coming back. We have to create our own opportunities. We have to become entrepreneurs. Self-determination is defining what it is you want and how to get there. But you first have to be self-aware. Know your condition. And know that there's a lot of folks that are not planning for your success, but to your failure. And that's what I talk about. And some of them look like you. Some of them look just like you. And that's what they don't like for me to say. But I'm going to say it anyway. They look just like you. As long as they can get a paycheck. They don't care. And you have to know that. And you have to be aware. Self-determination. Define your own future. I'm Dave Gilmore. Thank you very much.
Just remember that traders, agents, and those that go against the positive aspirations of our people never prosper in the end. Never prosper while they're doing it. Let me just say that. When that other side recruits you to go against your people, he never respects you, right? How can I respect someone who goes against their own people? So when exactly, right? So when he finishes with you, you're done in the garbage, right? Police seem like they have, and I just use seemed for you, because I know they've always had a green light to just murder black people, right? All right then. So we need to get strong and stop acting like this is not happening. What's happening? That's what Brother Gilmore was talking about. That's what Akbar is talking about. That's what Bilal is talking about. And that's why these young brothers are here. Right? You see this little boy, he's 3 years old. He's not a member of Buzz, but as a young boy, a male, once he saw these other brothers up here start standing together in unison and strength, he want to stand with them too. Right? Or you gravitate towards strength. Right? That's why the illusion of the gang seems like it's a position of strength. But if the community men start being strong again and stop being weak and running and cowards, these young brothers will gravitate towards us. That's why they gravitate towards Brother Prescott and Brother Raheem, because those brothers are being strong. Huh? There's nothing wrong with being angry. How can your son get killed and you talk about, I would be mad as hell. What? It's my son. Where he at? Right there. It's crazy to me when I see some of these guys, these brothers, man, lose their sons and they just be like, I don't know. Here we go, young brothers. Come on. What you all gonna do? A reflection. Give your attention.
Okay, so reflection on this Kwanzaa celebration and the pre-Kwanzaa celebration at Montclair last week or a couple weeks ago. Overall, it was very educational. With Mr. Baruki Kafele, he spoke for most of the period. And he spoke about a couple of books, one that was written by him that really caught my attention. And then it was another one, I think it was a miseducation of a black or Negro man. Yeah. So he spoke on how like it was basically mind control introduced in the first paragraph, and I researched it. Didn't really find much, coincidentally, but yeah. And this one here, yeah, the entertainment was good. I enjoyed the poem mostly because it was like, yeah, it was entertainment and information at the same time. So, yeah, definitely coming next year.
Step up.
I didn't go to the event at Montclair. I don't have nothing to say about that. But today was a good event. I liked the speaker, funny. I liked the poem, the rap, and I liked the comedian. Where she at? She was funny. And I'm coming next year too.
What I think about the reflection of this ceremony and last ceremony, I think it was good because in last ceremony, what's the name? Principal Kofeli talked about how he started an entrepreneur and his son, and he encouraged us as a young black man to like how to maintain our businesses if we ever do own a business, and how our life is going to turn out later on. And this ceremony because it was not boring like other ceremonies and lectures, but it was still fun. So that's what I think about the ceremony.
What I think about the event about last week, about how he, Mr. Kafele, he wrote a book, and maybe one day I might write a book too.
How's everyone doing? My name is Paterson Myers. Reflecting on these past couple of days, I found it educational, nice to know that everybody, not just blacks, but also whites and Hispanics and any other colors and nationalities came together. And that this America wasn't founded on one man or one race, but a whole bunch. We gotta come together as a group instead of an individual.
All right, come on.
Yeah, make them say their names, who they are. Stop.
I'm Tashaka Thorpe. I go to State County Technical Institute, and I'm a vocal major.
How long have you been in Bud?
I've been in Bud since I was about 12, I believe.
I'm Rayvon Warren. I go to Kennedy, and I've been in Bud for like 3 years.
My name is Jahar Jones. I go to school 26, and this is only my second year of Bud.
What grade?
And I'm in 6th grade.
My name is Kwanzaa Robinson, and I go to Kennedy, and I'm a sophomore. And when I grow up, I want to be a social worker. And I've been in Buzz for 2 years.
Thank you, Brother Akbar. I can hear you.
My name is Kevin Myers. I'm a sophomore, second semester at Virginia State University. I've been in Bud since 6th grade.
Give these young brothers a strong hand. Oh, he's trying to hide. We got another one trying to hide. We always call him out. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Clap this brother to the stage. Come on, get him on to the stage. Clap this brother on to the stage.
My name is Aziz Watkins. I go to International High School.
Hold on. The brother speaking, let him speak.
My name is Aziz Watkins. I go to International High School.
How long you been in Buds?
I've been in Buds for like 3-4 years.
Where's Kevin? Come on up, Kevin.
Come on, Kevin.
Hi everybody, my name is Kevin Tyler. I've been in Buzz for like 2 years now. My parents are over there, and this is small world. My mentor. Here today, I learned that as a culture, as black people, as a culture, that we're good people. Like that we're not only out there, but we're in places like this. So I thank you for everybody for showing us love. Thank you.
Stand up for these young brothers. Stand up for them. We got a college student, school 26, grammar school, high school, right? Right? They were very articulate, were they not? They expressed themselves, right? That means their parents are doing a good job with them. Let's give it up for Brother Raheem Smallwood, to everything the entire state doing this work with them. Right? They didn't speak in sentence fragments, right? They didn't use any slang. They didn't use any profanity. They looked at the audience in their eye. They didn't look down. That means he's teaching them honor, respect, and decency. He's teaching them to be strong. He's teaching them character. Their parents are teaching them character. And we have to nurture, honor, and respect and help these brothers move forward. Give them a strong hand again. And they all got their pants. How could I forget that? They all have their pants up. All right, Sister Wahida. Oh man, we could give them a couple dollars for that alone.
How, I guess we got to keep repeating these same things about how we got to learn our own history. Because if you wait for your enemy to tell your history, you'll basically believe that, like they're doing in the books now and showing in the books, that we were slaves and then this is how we started. The true reality is we was more greater than that. You hear people say that, but honestly, you got to get your children, I'm telling you to get in some sort of education, some African American studies class. I'm a late bloomer. I'm actually in college now, and I got African American studies class. But you will be amazed of the information that they held back from us. It's anybody see that DVD Hidden Colors? Remarkable. If y'all don't, I'm telling you right now, everybody should find a way to get that when you leave here. You will love it. One of the key things that they mentioned in Hidden Colors was, he said that after the Civil War, that the Vatican put out an edict to remove all black history from the books. We'll say that to y'all again. They put out an edict, meaning the law, let's remove all black history from the books. There was a reason for that, because we was doing some tremendous things. It's funny, anybody know about Hannibal Barker of Carney? Huh? I was watching the History Channel and they had him as being white. I was like, what? But the crazy thing about it, as they showing him being white, they show all the remarkable things that he done, And that was a strange thing to me. But I'm gonna mention somebody recently that passed, not a couple of years ago. Michael Jackson, right? Everybody know who Michael Jackson is, right? I had a spoken word thing or a public speaking class where I did a speech on Michael Jackson. So I had to do a little research on Michael Jackson. And one of the things that they said he was broke, he was crazy, right? Y'all remember this, right? I went on YouTube maybe like 6 months ago, and they had, man, what's the brother name? Very active older brother. He was a comic. He was a Dick Gregory. There you go. Dick had a conversation with Michael, and he said, Mike, what is this they saying about you that you broke? He said, so Mike went somewhere and got some paperwork, and he showed him paperwork where Michael had $7 billion of liquid cash in Swiss banks. I was like, wow. So then I seen this other thing where Mike was speaking in somewhere in London, and he said, basically, to make a long story short, he said, I'm gonna leaving Sony owning 51% of Sony. That's right. I said, wow, this is crazy. I ain't never heard this before. So I did my research, come to find out, in the early 80s, Mike bought this Northern Catalog of Europe, which owned the Beatles. He bought it for $47.5 billion. Then in like maybe 82, 83, he bought CBS Catalog Records, right? So this Japanese company approached him in the early 80s and said, yo man, we want to get into the music business. We'll give you 50% of our company and we'll give you $90 million. Okay? And that was Sony. Mike did this. The reason why I'm mentioning this because all the current artists, to make a long story short, believe this or not, from Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Michael owned all 50% of all the catalog. He used to get an annual check of $800 million a year. Annual, just from all these other people and all these other artists. I say this to you for a reason because you can't wait for your enemy to tell you about yourself. That's right. I'm telling you. For instance, like Jack Johnson. People know about his boxing, but this dude was so intelligent, he had patents on, because he was into like cars, racing cars. Yeah. So he made this instrument that we use every day called a wrench. And he put a patent on it. It's still in it, and the patent still is on his name. Beautiful thing about us, man. Don't wait for these enemies to tell you about yourself. Obviously, you want to take the station of eminence. But the caliber you release from the chamber get the response of a rubber band and a paper clip. Plus your emanation is stewed with the generous I have on my embalming list. I'm going to preserve them so my progeny know how to classify the demonstrous psychology, lace it with the etymology. So there's a resurgence of black MCs on their phone. Excuse me. If there's a resurgence of black MCs in their life, they perform unions that embodies a lyricist critical philosophy. Excuse me. Some of your flows are mad and insidious like Etna insuring slave ships. Forget the apologies. Let's talk reparations and get the math together for the Satanists who endowed the Ivy List. You know the type of cat that got the swag of a philanthropist. But in his free time, though, he probably like to swim in a pool of human blood and got a deep, facetious attitude for the indigent. One of the Prince of Wales said if he could be reincarnated, he'd come back as a plague and kill 80% of the people. What man of creation has this type of hate and literally the embodiment of evil? Imagine a mind so convoluted they'll feed you pig entrails, rape everything on the plantation, then convince you that you're ugly. So sadistic, kill a bystander during a car game, quote the Bible, write laws in Congress. George Tillman and the light was a true incarnation of ugly. Benjamin Franklin said that the good Quakers in Pennsylvania will be shocked, and I quote, he said, when the white savages from Ireland and Scotland migrated on the scene, there was a bloodthirsty, whiskey-drinking clannish bunch. It was written that the lawlessness took part in creating a barbaric scene. It was said when they used to wrestle each other, they used to bite each other ears and nose off, scratch each other's eyes out. They call it the rough and tumble. This was their play sport. The upper class was a little different. If you disagree with him, he'll call you a damn liar, then blow your brains out. You know the type that was above the law, a traveling man, a mason. Almost no doubt. Okay. The Pope told these savages that the Africans didn't have no souls. So you better believe that the tortures that was released from these demons was so horrific, it probably couldn't be told from another African soul. The cannibalism, barbarism, mutilations, brutalations of epic proportions. It's like when Stalin started to death 20 million Ukrainians. Oh, Allah give all them demons they do proportions. America, the so-called beautiful. For 4 centuries, you conducted one of the worst human holocausts this planet has ever seen. But the truth is so suppressed, like the planet is saying that the African American don't like education in the land of dreams. My forefathers came through Sullivan's Island, not Ellis Island. So add 4 centuries of nightmares to those dreams. But it seemed that your wealth got you casting spells like a Kabbalist. Now you're thinking omnipotence. Listen, I dare you. Get your litigation team and try to get off the angel of death list. You know the type of mind that become very pugnacious when it comes to who wrote the hieroglyph. Sheikh Anta proved that it was an African hand. Now they want to throw aliens on the list. I heard back then that Reagan was goofing and laughing about future attack of alien ships. How far would they go to get you all to jump on this one world government ship? Listen, I want to be like the one who threw the rock at the Philistine, not like the one who worshipped Mithra and used the guillotine. Get back to myself, cut granite like I was using a laser beam, carry 50 tons down and now, doing those Imhotep type of things. The sheikhs in my circle stay didactic and philosophic, so you might want to group together to kind of my synopsis. I'm going to show you the hieroglyphs so you can spit the truth like Herodotus, change the capital like Akhenaten, and take the mythology off the obelisk. It was said that the first 3 pharaohs believed in one creator and didn't deify Cush. After the 4th and 5th dynasty, Cush becomes Amun-Ra. Your people should take a look. The Ethiopians mummified before the Egyptians and gave a transparent look. It was said that the Ethiopian sarcophagus was made of a transparent glass. Because of the interaction between the Ethiopian and the Egyptian, obviously your racist theories are transparent trash. Mental note, if the anthropologists had no morals, history say he will help a racist crook. Show me a country that was colonized, and I'll show you the burning, the disappearing, and the changing of books. Obviously. Thank you. What's the devilish architect in the room? Is it that same pen that got the Spartan having romantic intercourse with his wife? Then show you the true color of the Persian, but make sure he's sinister and evil. So when it hits your subconscious, you say to yourself, I never want nothing dark in my life. Ring the bell. Somebody got you in a maze. So when I tell you that a Muslim African designed and built over 10,000 palaces in just one European city, does Ivan Pavlov's conditioning theory kick in and you say, no way, we was only slaves? Is this the thinking that they want the world to take to the grave? Billions of dollars spent on movies, books, and plays. Here's the question. Why Illuminati must have you to think that the African and the African American was only slaves? Thank you.
The next part of the program is a sister that we met 2 years ago in our travels when we met some of the people that were part of the Hidden Colors presentation 1 and 2. And when I first met her, I fell in love with her. And when I say I fell in love with her, I'm not talking about in a romantic type of way, because I am romantically in love with someone else. But in a spiritual way. And I believe that before our bodies are assigned a soul and a spirit, that in the spiritual realm, we have met somewhere. So therefore, when I heard this sister, it was like deja vu all over again, that we met somewhere in the spiritual realm. And this is why many of us even get along, and some of us don't get along, because in the spiritual realm, we didn't get along. So this sister here, Brother Benny said, wow, you fed the people first? I said, yeah, normally I don't do that. He said, well, she better be interested. I said, let me tell you something. They better put the seatbelt on, because you're in for a journey. Without further ado, it is my distinguished pleasure and honor to bring this sister back here for her second time in Paterson. Y'all missed her for the first time when she came last year for Women's History Month. But I'm telling you, she has something that's going to lift the men up and the women up. I give you Dr. Makiba Judge. Give it up, y'all.
That's so good. So I want to say hello to all of you. Aloha, salam alaikum. All right now. Celebrating Kwanzaa. I'm coming here from my office in Brooklyn. So for those of you who don't know who I am, who is this lady up here? My name is Dr. Judge. Some people know me as Makiba. I speak a lot. I've spoke in Irvington last week with Brother Booker T from Hidden Colors. We like lecture partners, basically. We really feed off of each other and speak to each other, and definitely going to be working on doing a Hidden Colors with him and the producer soon, possibly on the medical stuff, the history, the African origins of medicine. So we'll talk about that. But we're here today celebrating Kwanzaa. That's why we're here today. And what are we in now? Our second day? I'm not a religious person. I'm not a celebratory person. So sometimes you guys have to remind me. Kuji Jakalia, right? Right. And what does that mean to all of you? What does that mean to everyone? What does that mean? I know what that is. I know the title. What does that mean to all of you? Self-determination in what way? What does that mean to you? Who said that? What does that mean to all of you? What's that, sis? Goals and achieve them? And what is that, sir? We control the narrative of our lives. Exactly. 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 And what legacy are we leaving? What story are we telling? Are we taking the good parts with us and leaving the bad parts where they belong? Are we still following religious practices that oppress our women? That suppresses the voices of women? That oppress? Everybody got quiet with that. We got quiet with that. Are we still following traditions that bash others? Are we embodying charity, mercy, compassion, wisdom? Are we embodying that? Are we embodying the yoga of Ma? Sometimes. So who said that? Sometimes. All right. All right. Somebody asked me in our last lecture, they asked me what did I think about racism. Now I got to sit down because I'm tired. Because that subject makes me very tired. So I'm going to Africa next month, and I'm going to be there for some time. I'm going to take my first trip, my pilgrimage to Africa. I'm going to be in Namibia. I'm going to be staying with the First Family. I'm one of their physicians. So I'm going to be staying out there. I'm going to travel to Angola and Botswana while I'm there. I've never been before, but they have homes out here, so I treat them out here. And, I got to say I'm tired of hearing about our children being killed, about some of the sick racism that's going on. I'm just taking a little break from Kwanzaa for a second. We'll get back to that because we need to talk for a minute about this thing. We're getting quiet now because now we're getting serious, right? So we have to talk about that. So people ask me, what's my opinion on racism? They want to know, what do you think about that? What can we do? What can we do? And I mentioned this last week, and I'm going to mention again. I see this whole new crop of civil rights leaders come forth. The Chris Rocks, the J. Coles. Am I right? Right. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you are like, who's J. Who's that? Who's the J. Cole? Who's that? Yeah, you got to know what these young kids are listening to these days. You know what I'm talking about, right, brother? All right. And Chris Rock said something beautiful. I thought it was so profound. I've been following him on Twitter because he's been saying some really amazing things. And he said progress for black people. He said, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. He said, progress for us. Do you guys know what quote I'm talking about? He said, that's ridiculous. He said, my children have always been good kids. We've always had good kids. We've always had doctors. We've always had lawyers. We've always had good people in our community, in our culture. He said, we just have less crazy white people. You guys are letting us live. You guys are helping us, by giving us raises and promotions and not having public hangings and not having human zoos and not having all this ridiculousness that you guys had before. He goes, you were getting less crazy. So honestly, I applaud you for your progress because they switched it on us and they got us thinking we need to progress. We need to do this and we need to do that. You see, they flipped it on the victim, right? But we're not victims. We're not victims. That's right. We're winners, we're not whiners. We're warriors, we're not warriors, right? So he said something really, really beautiful. He said, you know, it's you that has progressed. So when you ask me what do I feel about racism, and I've spoken recently at Hunter College, at College of New Rochelle, Rosa Parks. I'm gonna say the same exact thing I said in front of a whole room full of Caucasian people, full of Latino faces, full of Asian people. And I said, you know, white people have to work on their own mental illness. We need more Peggy McIntoshes and more Tim Wises. You guys who know who that is, right? Because they don't let off of them. We need more of them. And you know, I was watching CNN the other day and I see this panel of black faces and Cornel West and then there's these other brothers up there. And I said, what is going on right now? I said, it's like, you know, you have a group, and I'm not comparing us like that, but I want you to get this picture in your head, that you got a panel of rape victims. No. I want to see the men saying, you know what, we rape women. This is what we do. We need to work on that. And so I want to see a panel of white faces addressing their own racism, and their own mental illness, their own brutality, their own violent nature, their own illness. So that's when we'll talk about us in a second. But you see, we can't always have that narrative flipped on us. We can't always have this thing flipped on us. You got to be very, very careful what movement you involve yourself in. And we also have to be careful who we support as well. We need to be supporting and uplifting the Peggy McIntoshes and the Tim Wises and so many more of them. Because I have so many white allies, my community center in Brooklyn. And they come with us on the marches, and they're there with us, and they got their fists up, they're marching with us, and you know, they got their backpacks and their hoodies, right? And they're passing the tweets around and the posts around on Facebook. But when it comes Christmas time or Hanukkah, and they go home to their families at dinner time, and their family's throwing around the N-word, they're not supporting you. You understand? So the only thing my white ally can do is go back to your community and work with your people on their racism and their brutality and their hatred and their violence. You understand? The narrative is not always about us. We've progression for us. You know, there's things that we can always improve. We can always do that. We'll talk about that in a second. But that's what my white allies can do. I believe strongly, and I say this for the first time on record, on camera last week, I believe, this is not a new theory, I mean this is not a new suggestion, excuse me, either, but I do believe that there needs to be a diagnosis in the DSM and a diagnosis code, an ICD-9 code for this delusion of white privilege and white supremacy. I believe if we do that, thank you. I believe if we do that, then there's two things. Number one, the whole script is going to be flipped on them because now the attention will be on you to focus on your racism, your hatred. Because you know what? There could be a husband and wife. I have the husband and wife sitting right here. I'm trying to just let this soak in here to the young people as well. But we have a husband and wife here, and the husband beats his wife. And all of her sisters can get together, her mother can get together, grandmother can get together, all of them can say, you beat my daughter, you beat my sister, you beat my cousin, and you need to stop doing what you're doing. He sits there and he's like, okay, yeah, I know I need to stop. But it's a little different when there's a whole group of his peers telling him, you know, you beat women and you need to stop. You're sick, you're ill, and you need to stop. Nobody wants that stigma of mental illness, and that is what they need. So that's what I support. I support a diagnosis in the DSM Because I want that same stigma, the same way we treat mentally ill people in this country, which is a shame, which is a crying shame, our state of mental health in this country, but they need that same stigma. Then and only then will they receive the help that they need. Because we can sit up here, we can have panels, and we can talk about it, we can beg them to stop, we can do whatever we want, we can have Lifetime programs on it, we can have CNN programs on it. None of that's going to matter until there's an army of their peers, the Peggy McIntoshes, the Tim Wises, that say, hey, we are racist. We have destroyed peoples around this planet. We're sick people, and we need to get help for that. So that's how I feel about that. As far as we're concerned, I touched on that a moment ago. Are we still following traditions that oppress each other? That are violent towards each other? What is that self-determination that we talk about? How we name ourselves? Are we Moorish? Are we African American? Are we black? What are we exactly? We can't even agree on that. We can't even figure that out. What are we exactly, right? Well, here's the deal. We can have our own self-determination. We can have our own narrative. We can throw out the bad and we can keep the good. And that's pretty much what I am. People ask me, what's your religion? And this is, I respect everyone's religion. I respect everybody's religion because I was raised with everyone's religion. And so I tell them I take the good parts and I throw out the bad parts. So I take the good parts, I throw out the bad parts. And I go back to the source. And the source is Ma. So I go back to the source, and not as a goddess, but as a principle, as a guideline for living. This is what our Buddhism is based off of. This is what our Christian 10 Commandments are based off. This is what every single religion, it all came from there. It all came from Ma'at. And so if we go back to the source, if I'm trying to teach you about food, I'm not going to have a flyer here of Trader Joe's or Whole Foods Market. I'm going to take you back to the farm to talk to you about food. I'm going to take you back to the seeds and talk to you about food. So we have absolutely no time to talk about that. But one day. But we are working with this young sister, True Hunt, this young woman who's a teacher, and she gave me a call out the blue, and she asked me if I would start one of the first Ma'at yoga-based programs funded by the New York City school system as an after-school program for high school students. So we're going to start working on that in March when I return from Africa. Yes, that is going to happen. We're going to make it happen, but it isn't in its original stages. So what can we do to uplift each other, to help determine ourselves and change our own narratives? We talk about being the charity. We talk about being the yoga, being the mercy, being the understanding, being the love that we beg from others on this planet, that we seek from others on this planet, that we desire from everyone else. We want that, but do we give that in our daily lives? When was the last time you checked on your elder neighbors? How do you treat the homeless person on the corner that you pass every day? How do you treat the young man on the corner with his pants down here? Do you judge him or do you talk to him and try to help him? How do you treat your wife or your children? So when people talk to me and they ask me to come speak at their church, they don't usually ask me to come back after that. Because they usually don't ask me to come back because I ask these questions. I don't care about how religious you are. That doesn't matter, because I know religion and spirituality are two different things, right? And two people get that stuff mixed up. I'm a good Christian, I'm a good Muslim, I'm a good Buddhist, but how good of a human are you? And that's what's really important. How do you take care of your body? Do you feed it with meat every day? This is your vessel that you're going to use to reach enlightenment. How do you treat it every day? Do you give it green juices? Oh, yes. Do you exercise it every day? being that love and giving that love to yourself first, compassion, mercy, health, wealth, abundance, all that stuff to yourself, positivity to yourself first, and then to those around you. How do you treat your brother, your sister? When's the last time you called them and checked on them? Are you still holding a grudge towards them from childhood? You see? So we beg and we demand this from everybody else in the world. And we ask for, we say, why? Why are we cursed? Why are we treated like this all over the world? And I'm not flipping that on a victim, but I'm asking us to be self-accountable, to be responsible. How do we treat each other? And our community around us shows you how we're treating each other. Our economic status shows you how we're treating each other, how we're treating ourselves, our health status. Something that really upset me, I have this, I'm going to explain to you. Something that really upset me, I'm looking at what's going on in the media after these killings. I see these numbers, the poverty. For every dollar we have, white people have $13 for every dollar that we have overall. You understand that? Black women make 50 cents on the dollar of a white man. White women make 75 cents on the dollar. And Latino people make about 60, 65 cents on the dollar. And then I look around. These killings and all this stuff happen. I say, has anybody heard of the prison industrial complex? My goodness, not one of these people on television has mentioned a boycott or a buyout of black business. Not one. And then I wonder, I think further, and it hits me, and then I have to sit back down because I think about, my goodness, we have all these religious associations. Are we constantly teaching our children what stores to avoid? What stores support the prison industrial complex? Do you young men know what the prison industrial complex is? Do the children in here know what that is? Do you know how evil and devious this country is? Well, certain stores, and I printed one of these out for all of you. Certain stores, these are some of the worst offenders. McDonald's, Wendy's, Target, Victoria's Secret, Walmart, Starbucks, Kmart, Sprint, Verizon, Fidelity Investments, JCPenney, American Airlines, and Avis Rental. These are some of the worst offenders. No black, brown, Moorish, Latino, Hispanic, African American should be shopping in these stores. Why? Because these companies utilize prison labor. And then some people say, well, isn't it good that they work? It's good when you want to pass the time by working while you're in prison. It sounds like a good deal. Make a little bit of money while you're in there? No. You want to know why it's not good? It's not good because these companies have billions and billions of dollars. And what they do, they pay off politicians to criminalize everything that you do. Because this country, because these stores, because these products were built on slave labor. You understand? So because I'm explaining, and I'll do things like this, I'll print this out, I'll ask some of these religious leaders, I'm like, do you ever have teachings about this stuff? No. Not one. Not one. Not one has had a teaching about the prison industrial complex. The same companies you shop at in prison and kill you. Not one. What is going on in our community? What are we doing to educate our children? You shop at this store, and that money goes to whoever owns these companies. They pay off the politicians, and they say, we need more labor, we need more labor. This is $1 billion industry. Your bodies, your brother's bodies, your father's bodies, your mother's bodies now. The women in prison, upstate New York, are sewing Victoria's Secret bras. Do you understand that? And you're running to the store to shop there. You see how they got you like a hamster on the wheel. And you're still shopping there. I don't get it. Are our religions serving us? Are our politicians serving us? Are our schools serving us? What's going on here? This is just a handful. The list goes on and on and on. This country was built on slavery. This European empire was built on your bodies. And not only do they tell you to have these broken glass laws, Google that when you get home. Not only do they tell the politicians to have these broken glass laws, but they also tell you to keep you in jail longer, because they need your body longer. You see? Now these companies are telling these politicians, listen. And these politicians are also inviting these companies to come in and move into the state. Because you know why? We're building more and more prisons. We're building camps now, factories. The jail don't look like a jail no more. It looks like a factory. Hard labor. This is nothing new. But the thing is, because you don't know your history, this can keep repeating itself. You know your favorite rap songs, but you don't know your history. They want to take slavery off the books in Texas. You understand that? Rick Perry, what did he say? No, it was Ben Carson. And he may be president, so you better be careful. He said, what did he say? He said, I'm not quoting him exactly, but I read a quote from him. He said, if we tell these kids the things that really been on in this country, they would all join ISIS. He said, so we need to take that stuff out the textbooks. You know how easy it will be to have all these children going to prison labor camps if they don't know their history. Let me tell you something about Jewish people. Okay? Because I grew up in Long Island, many Jewish friends. Not one day goes by where their children don't know about what happened during the Holocaust. None of them. You will never see them in a BMW dealership. Ever. Never. Never. Because they know the history of the brutality and the violence. They know the history. They know that their bodies were used in camps to make those cars. And after they were done with them, they sent them off to the concentration camps. Our children have to know that in this country, you're only as good as the work that you're able to provide. And that's serious. That's serious stuff. This is not a joke. It's not a game. There's more money, almost twice as much, is being spent on your imprisonment than is on your education. And I don't understand when I walk into a church and I don't see things like this being handed out. I see them running to sales at these stores. And then I ask them, I said, you're a mother and you got 5 black kids. I said, now if one of them had an allergy, a severe allergy to some ingredient in a product, something that could harm his life, something that could disable him or kill him, you would avoid that product in that store. Probably the store, but mostly the product, you would at least avoid that. And these companies work on your child's demise. These companies profit off of your child's imprisonment, and you don't avoid these stores. Okay. And then we wonder, what is going on with us? We're supporting the very companies that kill us. Because they're not just imprisoning you, because if they can't imprison you, then they want you 2 other ways. Right? They want you either emasculated or dead. And I know that's harsh, but children, you guys have to hear this. I'm saying this because I love you. You serve no other purpose to them because you scare them. And if your pastor isn't saying this, your minister isn't saying this to you, then he's useless. You understand? Throw it out with the rest of the bad stuff. Throw it out. Because we don't need that anymore. You want to talk about progress? I tell people, don't have me up here talking about progress unless you really want to hear about progress. Because I'm going to tell it like it is. Throw that mess out. So, make copies of this and turn it into whatever you want. I don't own this information. And teach your kids. I want to see this posted everywhere. If I had millions of dollars, I'd be buying advertisements. I'd be handing this out. I'd be making massive mail campaigns, email campaigns. And I'd be flooding people's boxes with it. No person of color should be shopping in these stores. Oh, there's a lot. When I'm done, you go up to my desk, and I have my desk. Go up to the table there, and I printed something out for all of you. I said, you know what, let me just get them started. Take a magnet and put this on your refrigerator. Stop shopping. I love Reverend Billy Graham. You guys know this crazy guy, crazy white man, and I met him down at Occupy Wall Street, and was really heavy in that movement. And he has a church, and the church's literal name is the Church of Stop Shopping. He said, you know, I try to get the black ministers to join, I try to get them to join my church. I try to get them to be a part of this movement. He said, because I see so many of you shopping. And he said, y'all gotta stop shopping. He said, there's no Bibles in my church. But there are these posted everywhere. He said, because I see what it's doing to your people. Yeah, Reverend Billy Graham, look him up. It's shameful what I see what's going on with us. It's shameful. But that's what we can do. That's black progress. But not just boycott, not just a boycott, but also a buyout of black business. How about that? How about a buyout of black business? There are all these directories online now. There are directories. People get tired. They squirm around in their chair when I talk about this. Well, where am I going to get my toilet tissue from? Guess what? We met a young man last week who actually has a black paper company. I forgot the name of it. Tito, do you remember the name of that brother? He actually has a paper company. Does anybody know the name of it? He's out of Baltimore? Well, I bought a whole bunch of his stuff and I never even looked at it, but it's good quality stuff. Freedom Paper, thank you. And he does bulk deliveries and all that. What's next? What else you want? You want clothes? You want shoes? We got all of that, but you're gonna need to go out your way. This should be looked at as an allergy. This is my allergy. I can't shop here anymore. Now that you know, you're all responsible. So if you're not interested, don't even come over there and pick the paper up. Just close your eyes and put your head back in the sand and watch more of your brothers get killed or get shot by these police. You're supporting the very industry. Things would change. Do you understand how immense our economic power is? We are the gods of this economy. The gods. Because a God has the ability to construct and to be the architect of a system. And we are the gods of this economy. If we don't shop, that business is going to fail. That is an act of violence. You have to learn how to move in violence and silence. We don't need a bunch of marches. We don't need riots. We don't need any of that. We don't need that. We don't need to be out in the streets. You don't need to be doing any of that. What you need to do is support your black businesses, because that's the ones keeping these young men and women off the streets. My company employs black people. And if you support them and you avoid these companies, you will see things change. When one Jewish person is angry, This woman, she saw this wrapping paper in Walgreens. Did you see that story in the news? She saw this wrapping paper that looked like it had swastikas on it. It just looked like it. It just looked a little tiny bit. And I'm sure that's not what it was, but it looked like it to her. Within a week, it was pulled off of every shelf. She said, I will have every Jewish person in this country not shopping at Walgreens. And guess what? That paper was out of there. Out. But when you don't know your own power, you do stupid things like shop at the companies that kill you, that enslave you, that oppress you. So take this and pass that around and find more. There's many, many, many more of them. I mean, keep that on our refrigerator to remind me. The same way pictures of the Holocaust are in a Jewish household. I need to be reminded of why I can't shop there.
Tonight, this is our first from the from the Elambe Brath Power Coalition award, in which we'll be giving out every year to a young person. No old people getting this here. This is for young people. No offense to old people. Someone said I was entering elderships too. But it's for the youth to encourage them. And we have 5 categories. The category of history, caring, activism, research. It's one more that slipped my mind. It's 5 categories in which we'll be picking. There's an entire committee of people from the committee that is organized to eliminate negative images against African people, CMOTAP, who we're working with out of Brooklyn, New York, working with the family power. This is the committee we put together. In the name of Elambe Brass, who was one of the leaders in the Black Arts Movement, the Black Power Movement. Y'all remember the time when the people was wearing afros and Black is Beautiful? Well, Elambe Brass is the one that started that right there. He passed away some years ago. You probably didn't remember his face. You knew Gil Noble, but he was the brains. He taught Gil Noble about Africa. There's no doubt. This is out of Gil Noble's mouth. So to keep his memory alive, I talked to his family and told him that it was heavy on our mind, and we talked to our council of elders and asked them what they thought of the idea. And they embraced the idea, said it was a good thing to remember them. Also, y'all keep it down a little bit as you dialogue, because we're really trying to honor this brother over here right now, okay? Yeah, we're here to honor this brother right now, so I need your attention. Please. We're trying to honor him right now, and I'm just trying to set a context. So, we spoke with the family, because we don't just do things and not speak to people. We spoke to the family. We're waiting to meet. I was in dialogue all weekend about this. I told them we're going to go forward with the first one. The next one, we're going to be given every year an award, a Elambe Brath, a Pan-African award, with attached to it a $5,000 cash. This is a committee of people, okay? My role will be the person to organize. We have a person that's going to handle finance, and we're going to put that finance in their hand for them to do as they wish to do with that. So the recipient of this here first award, I wanted to bring his mother because, you know, he flowed from her. He is Shambe because of her. Without her, there's no him. So we honor not only him, we honor her, to whom life flows through, right? And he has the circle of family here, Khalil, Asada, his queen Malika, Carter here. What's up, Carter? Carter is just shooting straight. Said, look, he came and said, look, I'm hungry. He ain't with nothing else. He said, I'm hungry. So, this is on behalf of the Elambe Brath Power Coalition. From this day on, we are known as the Elambe Brath Power Coalition. And we will give you that history and writing why we chose the Elambe. We're also planning on starting the Amiri Baraka Steady Group. It's a testimony to their legacy and to keep their name alive. And we're not doing this here just for ourselves. It's reaching out and expanding to everyone that's in our community. The last thing, before I give this to them and bring Smallwood up, there are 7 committees which we are trying to organize a Black Parents Association. Who was here when Dr. Umar came? Who? Okay, now all of you that were here when Dr. Umar was here, and all of the forums that we put on and brought people here, it was not a concert, y'all. It wasn't a concert. We bring these people here to lay out a framework so we can get busy. We are in the process of establishing a Black Parents Association that is independent of the Board of Education that will monitor what is going on so that our children get the best. We have one of those committees will be the Finance Committee, in which we'll be researching every dime in which the Board of Education is spending. You know, contracts are going out all over the place. You know, we need jobs. We should be at the table. So we're going to be calling on people, and we have professional people that will be training people. We have an advocacy committee in which, when you have problems in the school system, your advocate, not the Board of Education's advocate, no, our advocate sitting there, and the Board of Education advocate can be there too. But our advocate will be there understanding the law, not as a lawyer, as an advocate. To see to it that you're not violating. You'd be surprised when you have an advocate there. I've been there with people, and believe me, they shut up when you know. So be prepared if you're really about the Nguzo Saba. If this is not just an alternative form of entertainment. Okay? Because time is short, we're not going to be here. Some of us ain't going to be here next year. May God bless our soul. So on behalf of the Alambi Breath Power Coalition, we present, I don't even have my glasses, but I'm a trainer here. We present this award to Brother Shambe, and it is an honor to give it to the brother because he exhibits all 5 of the characteristics. He's Pan-Africanist. If you remember last year, those of you that were here, when Brother Akbar Muhammad came, Minister Farrakhan, international representative, Minister Farrakhan sent him here to be with us. Those of you that were here, you bear witness to it, and we have it on tape. He loved the Shambe's energy so much that he didn't even want to talk. So on behalf of the Alambi Breath Power Coalition and the community, we present this here brother. I watched him grow into a young man. You understand? He watched us working, and you know, we're happy to see that he is the rising sun as our sun descends, because we're not going to be here forever. And when you see talent in young people, we have to push them. And believe me, I'm taking the time to say this here because you don't know the path. You don't know the path this young brother has went through. He had went through some serious struggles because he was breaking from a relationship. And Brother Kamal, before he died, he told me, he said, Bilal, he said, go and comfort that brother. He said, he's our brother. He said, he's our brother. Comfort him. So I got to get a little running around and get up out of here. You got the mic on me. Brother Shambe, the first award.
Abarigani. We say Abarigani. If you remember us from the Extended Black Family Movement, we always said Black love. Black love. I'm honored to get this award. I love you, Paterson, the black community. That's who I represent. I want to give a big shout out to my brother, my right hand brother Jihad Shakur back there. Brother Sadiq was in here at one time. We did a lot of things in the community. We held food drives and clothes drives and tutoring programs and lectures. We did free lectures, and We did all kinds of things in this community here. And I just want to say I thank you to my mother. I love you. It's my fiance, Malika. She's my compliment. I love you. We just love our people, man. My grandmother, she was an activist. My grandmother raised me with my mother. My mother was a single mother working, and I used to be with my grandmother all the time. And my grandmother used to have an afro when afros wasn't in style no more, and she was Black Power, right? She used to roll with, at that time, with Al Sharpton and Alton Maddox and C. Vernon Mason in the early 80s, and she used to take me to all the rallies and the protests. If you remember Eleanor Bumpers and Michael Stewart and the Bernard Getz case, we lived in Brooklyn at that time, and my grandmother used to take me to all the rallies, and she nurtured me, and she gave me a pride, along with my mother, in myself. You know, one time I came home and the kids was teasing me about my big nose, and my grandmother had a little more thinner nose. It wasn't really thin, but it was thinner than mine. And she said, "Oh, I wish I had a nose like you. You got a good nose." And I was shocked, like, what? I thought you had the good nose. No, you got a good nose. You got an African nose. So from a young child, she taught me about being proud of who I was as an African and being Black and being proud. And we need that. These children, they need a foundation of who they are, right? Because when you have a foundation, it's hard for you to be swayed. Right? But when your foundation is shaky, you can go this way today and that way tomorrow. Right? We gotta know who we are. So she used to take me to the rallies and the protests, and I loved it. I take my children to it now. Right? I have a 20. I have a 20-year-old daughter in college. Me and her mother helping to pay for her college, and I'm proud of my children, and I'm proud of you all. And I'm proud as a lot of people, Brother Akbar, Brother Raheem, Brother Doshan, right? We did a lot of work with the Panther Party for a long period of time, many different various organizations. And you just can't be scared. Mr. Thorpe is a strong intellectual brother that I talk to sometimes. We just can't be scared out here. They say a coward dies 1,000 deaths. But a man only dies once, right? So when you sell yourself and sell your soul because of fear or what somebody may say or becoming under attack, you die inside, right? And all my heroes were killed or their character was killed, and it's fine because they died for an honorable cause, right? My grandmother was one of my first heroes. She didn't get killed, but she died from health, lung cancer, right? This is why I'm so strong on health today. Malcolm X, I call Malcolm, that brother Jeffrey died right there. What's up, brother Jeffrey? Did a lot of work in Passaic with brother Jeffrey died, right? Malcolm X, I called him my father. Right? I love that brother because my real father was nowhere to be around. My mother was here. But I looked at him as a father model. Right? They assassinated Garvey's character. Right? They killed the Panthers. Those were the people that I looked up to. I don't care what nobody say. Those brothers were strong. Hands off Assata, Sister Assata still in Cuba. They want to bring her back, but we ain't going to bring her back. I named my daughter after Assata Shakur, right? Those are our freedom fighters, right? I came under Black nationalism, right? Martin Luther King was civil rights. I used to think like, oh, Martin Luther King, but I'm going to tell you, I may not have agreed with his philosophy, but he was courageous. And he died for what he thought was right. People nowadays, they ain't doing nothing. Right? So we got to stand up. We got to stand strong. We got to teach each other. We can't be cowards out here. We can't worry about what nobody gonna say, and we just gotta be strong. Race first, that's what I believe in. Race first, that's my ideology. That's just it, nothing wrong with that, right? Nobody, Dr. Clark says the African has no friends. I believe in that, right? We're not out here smoking and drinking and twerking and partying. We're trying to live an upright life, be self-conscious, get educated, do our work, and have love and faith in our motherland, our community, and our people. Black power. Right now, we're going to bring up my brother, the Warner. He's going to give you a hip-hop track, positive. Give the Warner a strong hand.
This track is in reference to love. It's something that, just like he talked about the different belief systems, and all of us having the same culture, the love has to be there, you know. And this is not saying anything towards another nationality. You see unity in other nationalities, and we need that, the loyalty, the love, all those things strengthened in our heritage and our roots, which traces back to Africa. And this is called, Can I Get Some Love? I'm gonna mention Paterson, but it don't matter where you from, whether you from New York, whether you from Cali, whether you from wherever. I'm gonna mention Paterson, but it's all about, can I get some love, and can we get some love, because we need that, man. Yeah. Our kids need it, us adults, we might not talk about it enough, but we need love, y'all. And I'm not talking it just verbally, I'm talking about physically showing each other that we care about each other. Yeah. Go ahead, play the track for me. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. This stuff is to raise consciousness. This has nothing to do with shaking butts and none of that type of stuff. I try to enlighten people's minds and get their awareness to be raised with integrity. This is the track. This is how I do. Everybody, can I get some love? This is how we do. Paterson, can we get some love? This is how I do. Everybody, can I get some love? This is how we do. Paterson, can we get some love? All the places I pack. Big break, y'all. All the places I pack, and with my signs I match. I hit the verbal snap for my brothers that laugh. Slip and drip, taking he don't drip. And before from my mind to grip. Elevate, don't flake, because you can't escape. Put the time to find us, to rebuild, don't flake. For my brother and others, and my mother, I love it. I face the facts in life, and it's time you discover. You today don't play, know that you've been in lady. We see the time this flies, so many have it, baby. Open the eyes and minds, the drunken blind don't drive. These are words that are wise, to please who knowledge alive. This is how I do. Listen up, everybody, can I get some love? This is how we do. Listen up, Paterson, can we get some love? This is how I do. Listen up, everybody, can I get some love? This is how we do. Listen up, Paterson, can we get some love? Second verse. Know that the minds with strength don't get bent by ignorance, because it's all about sense, not a blindly influence. So think about being played fast, provided an outlet, giving you like a piece of trash to pause the discarded man. And what is your purpose? You formulating your work and teach other the devil is moving you. Your opponent don't even see it. Influencing, idolizing as it is with some prophesize, but they actually analyze, playing God as they knowledge right. Come back down to earth with the love that can show the work. Reflecting to nurture first with this goodness I go through. So I take my stand in the man with the plan, and it's not about this. So we all need a hand. Word is fine, keep it real, acknowledge the wisdom, how you feel. The standing is a deal, exercise and start to build your mind. Alright? This is how I do. Listen up, everybody, can I get some love? This is how we do. Listen up, Paterson, can we get some love? This is how I do. Listen up, everybody, can I get some love? This is how we do. Listen up, Paterson, can we get some love? Third verse. Not on a trip I'm hit to thank Allah for the strength, because each day I spent my whole life could away. So with this breath I take and each record I make, I learn new ways to pay back with faith. I have a mercy my seed, and it's a mercy we feed, but there's so many that need what others stand by with greed. It's a fact we're black, truly right and exact. never go back. From the earth is your mate, and this is so God take. No matter what be your race, must let's be equal in faith. Tell me to stand in the man and make it right with your hand. Work out a positive plan, think for the kids out the clan. I'm on every death, being that lady's pimp. I tell you walk in, talk, maybe your mom might limp. I'm not a leader, a feeder, with the knowledge for leaders. I only analyze life. I ain't heard but no Peter. Thank you, God.
So here's the thing. Are you ready to have some karamu? You ready to eat? Our Kwanzaa celebration is not over. We have...
Up to 50.
Our children, female children,
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, sis.
all right, after the female children, we want the young brothers, all the young brothers in the house who can get the line. It's still beautiful to us. You love your hair, your glare, your
I see. How you been there? Good? Everybody wants chicken. A wing? Sure. Thank you. I'm moving it this way because it's empty. We need a... Some people have been asking me about the group that you're working with tonight, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit later so we can get all connected.
No, thank you, brother.
He got you?
Please. Brother need to catch this on camera.
For Kwanzaa, the closing of Kwanzaa, it's customary that we do the farewell statement. Okay? So what I need you to do is we close out with a farewell statement, and just like we did during libation, there's 7 Harambe's. I need you to hold your black fist up on the last Harambe. On the last Harambe, pull it down and go across your chest again. Okay? Farewell statement. I'm gonna try. Strive for discipline, dedication, and achievement in all we do. Dare struggle and sacrifice and gain the strength that counts from this. Build where you are and dare leave a legacy that will last as long as the sun shines and the water flows. Practice daily Umoja, Kujijakulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kawumba, and Imani, and may the wisdom of the ancestors always walk with us. May the year's end meet us laughing and stronger. May our children honor us by following our example in love and struggle. And at the end of the year, may we sit again together in larger numbers with greater achievement and closer to liberation and a high level of human life. Harambe! 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 Harambe!
We are black and beautiful people, and together we will win.